Hello guys, how are you? Mkoaje? It's another day. It's another evening. Today I was not able to do an episode in the morning. Yes. Sorry for that. Let us do two chapters right now. Genesis chapter 7 and chapter 8. And we are trying to capture few things from there. It's about the two are capturing about the whole season of floods. From the time they entered, the gods commanded Noah for them to enter the ark to the time the waters recede, and to the time, all the way to the time they leave the ark and Noah makes a sacrifice. So we read, we see the lessons that we get from there. Chapter 7, I'm going to read it quick. Chapter 7 has got 24 verses. And we read, the Lord then said to Noah, go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation. Take with you, it has been repeated severally, it's good to note that God had decided to save Noah and the family, because during that time, like we saw in the other episode, when the world was evil and corrupt, then Noah decided to remain righteous. And in Hebrews, it has been Hebrews chapter 11 verse 7. We're not going to read because of time. It has been captured that Noah became the heir of righteousness by faith. We continue.
What's the shipping address?
Take with you 7 of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and 2 of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its mate, and also 7 of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth. 7 days from now I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made. So, and Noah did all that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters came on earth. 600. Sorry, that was the age of Noah. And Noah and his sons and his wives and his sons' wives entered the ark to escape the waters of the flood. Pairs of clean and unclean animals, of birds, and of all creatures that move along the ground, male and female, came to Noah and entered the ark as God had commanded Noah. We have been told, let us capture that verse 9 that is talking about there went in two and two Noah into the ark, the male and the female. So the animals had been commanded by God to go to Noah. That has been captured. And after the 7 days, the floods came on the earth. After they had all entered the ark, after 7 days, then the floods came. In the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the second month, that day all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of heavens were opened. And the rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On that very day, Noah and his sons Shem, Ham, Japheth, together with his wife and the wives of his 3 sons, entered the ark. They had
You are my son.
with them every wild animal according to its kind, all livestock according to their kinds, every creature that moves along the ground according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind, everything with wings, pairs of all creatures that have the breath of life in them, came to Noah and entered the ark. The animals going in were male and female, of every living thing as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord shut him in.
Uncle, can I speak?
So, God is the one who closed
What are you doing?
the door and shut Noah and those kinds of animals inside.
Your
Aki.
department has added
So, verse 17, for 40 days the floods kept coming on the earth, and as the waters increased, they lifted. Let's repeat. Sorry, I got distracted. For 40 days the flood kept commanding on the earth, and as the waters increased, they lifted the ark high above the earth. The waters rose and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the water. They rose greatly on the earth, and all the high mountains under the entire heavens were covered. The water rose and covered the mountains. Can you imagine?
I came to the restaurant because I knew I was going
It
to
covered the mountain under the entire heavens were covered. The water rose and covered the mountains to a depth of almost 7 meters. Every living thing that moved on the earth perished. Birds, livestock, wild animals, all the creatures that swam over the water, and all mankind. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out, men and animals and the creatures that move along the ground, and the birds of the air were wiped from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in
What do you
the
think you're
ark.
doing?
The waters flooded the earth for 150 days.
Expecting me to compete with him is an insult to me.
150. Fine. Don't get confused here, because the flood took 40 days and 40 nights.
With anyone for what
But the
my food
flood,
means to me.
the waters flooded the earth for 150 days. The rain went on for 40 days, 40 nights. But the floods were there for 150 days. So meaning that when it had finished raining for 40 days, then the floods were still there. The water had not gone
I'll pull my resources.
for 150 days. So that is the difference. And God had fulfilled what he had said to Noah, that he would wipe away
That's all you're going to say.
mankind and everything that he had created, because the world had turned evil. And those who did not believe perished. And those who are not righteous and did not believe what God had said would do, then they perished because of their own ignorance. It is my prayer that we don't come to a time when we perish because we do not listen to what God wants us to do, and God does not get annoyed because of us.
Yeah,
Because we can see how much God was angered to an extent of deciding to wipe away all the creatures and the mankind that he had created by himself.
we are actually the best.
Let's see chapter 8, But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him in the ark, and he sent a wind over the earth, and the waters descended.
It's just money. I'm not bothered that you spend your money.
Now the
anyhow.
springs of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens had been closed, and the rain had stopped falling from the sky. The water receded steadily from the earth at the end of the 150 days.
To do that now.
The water had gone down after 150 days. So after 40 days and nights of raining, there were more days that the water took time to go down to make them 150 days of the flood.
Critical behavior. You're only saying this because I live here. I wanted to get my own space. I wanted to get my own place. What did you say to me? You told me not to abandon me.
Let's continue. And on the 17th day of the 17th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. That is where the ark, the ark of Noah rested. After the 150 days, it rested in on the mountains of Ararat. The waters continued to recede until the 10th month, and on the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains became visible. Now the mountains becoming visible, that means now the water have started going down. After 40 days, Noah opened the windows he had made in the ark and sent out a raven, and it kept flying back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had receded from the surface of the ground, but the dove could find no place to set its feet because there was water all over all the surface of the earth. So it returned to Noah in the ark. So the first time, Noah sent out a raven to check. Some Bible says that the raven did not come back, so that means it did not find a place to rest. So the floods had not, the water had not gone down yet for them to come out. Then he later on sent a dove which came back after it found out that the water was over all the surface and there was nowhere they could not, it was not yet time for them to come out of the ark. He reached out his hand and took the dove and brought it back to himself in the ark. He waited 7 more days and again sent out the dove from the ark. When the dove returned to him in the evening, where in its beak was a freshly plucked olive leaf, this was an indication it was now safe for everyone who was in the ark and every animal in the ark to get out, because after this, the second time the dove had been sent out, then it came back with a freshly picked olive leaf, plucked olive leaf. Then Noah knew that the water had receded from the earth.
What do you want?
He waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again, but this time it did not return to him. By the first day of the first month of Noah's 651st
You're going to name me
year, the water had dried up from the earth. Noah then removed the covering of the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. By the 27 days of the second month, the earth was completely dry. Then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, the birds, the animals, and all the creatures that move along the ground, so they can multiply on the earth and be fruitful and increase in number upon it." So God blessed all the people and all the creatures that were in the ark, that they would multiply they would multiply and fill
How are you?
the earth again. So Noah came out together with his sons and his wives and his sons' wives, all the animals and all the creatures that move along the ground, and all the birds, everything that moves on the earth, came out of the ark, one kind after another. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and taking some of all the clean animals and clean birds, he sacrificed burnt offerings on it. The Lord smelled the pleasing aroma and said in his heart, never again. Listen to this, that after Noah had sacrificed, had given a burnt sacrifice to God, then God was happy and he was pleased by the aroma he smelled, and said in his heart that he again will never ever curse the ground because of man, even though every inclination of his heart is evil from childhood. Even though man is evil from childhood, there is no day that again God will destroy.
So what are you saying?
Will destroy, will cast the ground because of man, will ever cast the ground because of man. And never again will I destroy all living creatures as I have done. He would never wipe away the earth again. That was the promise of God. As long as the earth endures seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease. So God made a promise that he will never destroy the earth again like he had done in the times of Noah. That he would never be angered again to a point of destroying everything that he had created. That is nice. We have at least felt that anytime we face calamities, it's not good to say that, oh, God is angered and wants to destroy a generation, because he made his promises, and the promises of God are yes and amen, and he keeps his words. And he has said in this verse of chapter 8 verse 21, never again will I cast the ground because of man, even though every inclination of his heart is evil from childhood, and never again will I destroy all living creatures as I have done. That is what we had from chapter 7 of Genesis and chapter 8 of Genesis. I said chapter 7 has 24 verses and chapter 8 has 22. May God bless you and have a good night.